14,375 years ago, long before the rise of civilizations, before the first pyramids, before humans had even figured out how to write, something absolutely extraordinary happened in the skies above Earth. Something so powerful, so intense, that if it happened today, it could change life as we know it in an instant. It wasn't a supernova. It wasn't an asteroid strike. It was something far closer to home. Our own sun unleashed a solar storm so monstrous that it dwarfed anything modern humans have ever witnessed. And until very recently, nobody even knew it had happened. Small bands of humans roamed the planet as hunter-gatherers, oblivious to the invisible cosmic violence raging in the sky. The sun, usually seen as a giver of life, had turned, for a moment, into something far more dangerous. These people didn't have electronics or satellites to lose, because while humanity survived 14,375 years ago with nothing but stone tools and fire, today's hyper-connected world is a lot more vulnerable. Meanwhile, the European Space Agency's solar orbiter maps the sun's surface in unprecedented detail, revealing the mechanics of the solar winds that shape space. Weather. With every bit of knowledge, humanity gets stronger, more prepared, more resilient. But we're not helpless. This knowledge allows us to prepare. Satellites can be hardened. Life continued. Humanity grew smarter, stronger, and more capable. And now, armed with this knowledge from the past, we have the power to protect our future. What was once an invisible, unknowable danger is now something we can see coming, something we can plan for, something we can face together. The sun is both our greatest ally and, sometimes, our greatest threat. But as long as we continue to learn, to innovate, and to respect the forces of the universe, there is every reason to believe that humanity will not just survive, but thrive among the stars. Power grids can be protected with massive transformers and circuit breakers. And join us on more incredible journeys through space, time, and the mysteries of the universe. Lived under the same auroras, witnessed the same skies, painted with colors most of us today will never see. Just imagine for a moment the skies glowing electric green, purple, and red, stretching from horizon to horizon. No light pollution, no cities, just pure, cosmic beauty. Perhaps our ancestors stood in awe, not with fear, but with wonder, watching the heavens come alive, never knowing that what they were seeing was one of the most powerful space weather events in the history of life on Earth. Global warning systems are already being developed, watching the sun with eyes sharper than ever before. No power grids, no GPS. But imagine if this had happened in our modern world. The consequences would be catastrophic. It all began with an accidental discovery. Deep inside the Arctic wilderness, solar storms don't care about borders. They don't care about nations, languages, politics, or conflicts. They hit the entire planet equally. When it comes to space weather, Earth is just one fragile marble floating in the cosmic sea. The realization that we are all equally vulnerable to the whims of our star is also a reminder of how connected we truly are. We share this world. We share this sky. Then, power grids across continents would fail, one after another. The planet's magnetic field, that invisible shield generated by molten iron spinning deep within our core, stood like a guardian between us and oblivion. Without it, that storm could have stripped away parts of our atmosphere, like it did to Mars long ago, leaving a barren, lifeless world. But Earth endured, and perhaps that's the real lesson here, not fear. Awe at the delicate balance that makes life possible. Awe at the invisible forces that rage above our heads every day, unnoticed. Awe at how, even in the face of cosmic fury, humanity somehow always finds a way forward. Stock markets would crash, hospitals, water systems, and communication networks would go dark, all because of the star that gives us life to sight in, for just a few hours, to remind us how fragile we really are. But the story isn't entirely one of doom and gloom, because hidden within this terrifying discovery is something strangely beautiful. a reminder of how resilient life on Earth truly is. Despite this unimaginable cosmic bombardment, life thrived. Our ancestors survived. Not only survived, but went on to build the great civilizations of Egypt, Mesopotamia, the Maya, the Indus Valley. A team of scientists was drilling ice cores in Greenland, searching for ancient climate data locked within layers of ice, where they stumbled upon. However, wasn't just data about ancient weather patterns. It was a time capsule of cosmic chaos, buried in the ice. Layers from 14,375 years ago contained a strange, massive spike in radioactive isotopes. At first, the scientists were skeptical. Surely this must have been a mistake in the measurements. Perhaps contamination. Perhaps a localized anomaly. But then, the same spikes were found in ice cores from Antarctica, half a world away. The odds of a coincidence? Zero. The conclusion became terrifyingly clear. Around 14,375 years ago, Earth was blasted by an unimaginably powerful solar storm. A geomagnetic tsunami of charged particles hurled toward our planet at speeds of millions of miles per hour. To put this into perspective, the strongest solar storm in recorded human history is the Carrington event of 1859. That storm was powerful enough to make telegraph wires burst into flames. It lit up the skies with auroras. As far south as the Caribbean, if the Carrington event happened today, it could cripple satellites, shut down power grids globally, and cause trillions of dollars in damages. But this ancient solar storm, it was multiple times stronger. Scientists estimate it could have been anywhere from 10 to 100 times more powerful than the Carrington event. A solar apocalypse that, if unleashed today, would send humanity straight into chaos. What's even more haunting is the timing. This wasn't an era with advanced civilizations. This was the tail end of the last ice age. The storm would begin with an eerie sight. Satellites would start glitching, even as the skies rained particles. Even as magnetic fields twisted and danced, the Earth held strong. The discovery of this ancient storm also lights a fire under today's scientists and engineers. Solar observatories like NASA's Parker Solar Probe, flying closer to the sun than any human-made object before, are sending back invaluable data about the behavior of solar flares and coronal mass ejections. What's even more inspiring is how this discovery unites us as a species, and even in that ancient world of 14,375 years ago. When small tribes roamed vast continents, they too looked up at the same sun, in a way. The happy ending is that we are still here. If you found this story as mind-blowing as we did, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Beyond Stars,